zodiac signs and personality types. They are just a few of the ways that maybe you can determine your unique traits. But what is your financial personality type?
She's all in on this topic. Michael Masserant, Retirement Education Foundation, joins us now, Michael. So personality type, zodiac sign, does play some kind of role into how you go about money, correct?
It really does. So a lot of people think about money, and money is numbers, numbers is math. People say, okay, it's math, numbers, got it, done. There's so much emotion and psychology that goes into money and how people feel about money, think about money, and the decisions we make. It is insane to just pretend like we're all robots that make logical decisions every single day. That's not how this works. And so getting a better handle on how do I think about money? Why do I think about it that way? What has impacted me in my life so far up until this point? And once you identify those things, okay, great. How do I keep that in mind while making better decisions for myself, for my financial future, to avoid the pitfalls that my particular personality might fall prey to?
And it's good to dig a little deeper, because when it comes to, for example, your zodiac sign, I could say, I'm an Aries, we're fiery, we're in your face, and then just stay there and kind of make that the excuse for everything that I do or how I feel about certain things or react to certain things. But with money, you're saying understand your personality type or your anxiety or whatever the psychology is, and then use that as a tool to do better.
Exactly, you nailed it. And so really, there are four main personality types with money. Okay. There are the two obvious ones, the spender and the saver. Yeah. Right? Those are the two obvious ones. And then the third one is a risk taker. The fourth one is the avoider. And so the first two are pretty obvious, the spender and the saver. Everyone knows someone who is a big spender. When they have 10 bucks in their pocket, they're spending 20 bucks that day. That's the big spender. The big saver is someone who's constantly saving money.
1 in 3 for me.
And the big saver is someone who's constantly saving money, because either it's anxiety or fear driving them to save all the money. Yes. And a risk taker is someone who, especially when it comes to investing, they get maybe a little too comfortable chasing these high-risk investments that may or may not pan out, often don't, but they're always chasing that hot stock or that hot strategy. And then the avoider is the person who says, forget it, this all causes me anxiety, I'm not touching any of this stuff, and they bury their head in the sand. Right. So each of these different personality types has benefits and drawbacks, and that's why, like you said, Marielle, it's so important to identify which one are you and how to capitalize on the strengths and protect the weaknesses.
In a relationship, too, it's good to have a nice yin and yang a little bit, no doubt about it. Let me talk to you about personality type as it relates to volatility, because as the market goes up and down like crazy, or some sort of political something happens and the market goes, and we'll go back to last April, good example of that. Your personality type may determine how you react to that volatility in the market, correct?
I would argue not may. It absolutely will impact how you react to those things. When you check your 401k and it's down 25% because there are things happening in the world that you can't control, your psychology, your personality type impacts what do you do with that information. If someone is a big risk taker, they might say, great, let's put more into the market. If someone's afraid of risk, they might say, this is too much, get me out, I can't deal with this anymore. There might be someone that never invested in the first place because the stock market scares them, and they're still sitting in cash from 10 years ago. So your personality type, it's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. It will impact your choices, and that's why it's so important to get your arms around these things.
I know there are pluses and minuses to all four of these personality types, so I don't mean to phrase the question as which one is the worst, but which of these personality types would you say come in first to come and talk to us so we can help you make some changes?
So I think the one that can, to your point, they each have their pros and cons, but I think the one that can cause the most long-term damage is either the big spender or the avoider. Because the big spender is the person who might be spending, and they're falling behind in their goals. The avoider is the person who, they might go 5, 10, 15, 20 years and then finally realize, okay, I need to address these things, I need to figure it out. But now you're 20 years behind the 8 ball. And you can't get that time back.
The avoider part of this too, Marielle, and Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you put your head in the sand and then you look one day at what you've been spending or what you haven't been saving or what you haven't been doing, that is every bit as damaging to your financial outlook as being a huge risk taker or a spender.
For sure. And what's kind of interesting for the avoider is a lot of times people finally stop avoiding and they face the music and they realize, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm actually closer to being on track than I thought, and I don't need to make some giant life upheaval. I need to make a few tweaks here, and there, and I'm actually doing pretty good. And so all that avoiding just delays getting back on track.
Which I think is probably the biggest testament to what you do. You probably see people who go into you saying, I don't know about money, I can't learn this stuff. And they figure out it's a lot easier than they probably assumed it was.
That is for the 8-hour class that we teach. We hear constantly people coming to the class, and in the first hour, people are kind of looking around, they're a little anxious and nervous. By the 8th hour, they're walking out saying, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much I enjoy this, because I'm not a money person, I don't enjoy this stuff, but that was actually kind of fun and interesting, and I can't wait to go do the homework, which they never thought they'd be saying that when they're walking in for the first time, and they're walking out 8 hours later re-energized.
I took the class.
Yes.
I left the class. I was like, man, I thank God there's people that do this.
I wonder what's the good grade. I've told the producers, come with me. I got friends. I'm bringing the biggest group. I need to take the class.
We can do a Fox 2 class.
REFEDU.org. Find Michael there. We'll be right back.